All right. So what are the similarities and differences in these changes? Both of them are chemistry. Both of them you'll study under chemistry only.
Physical and chemical change.
How did you figure that, Puneet?
This because of reversibility and irreversibility, the formation of a new object.
Very good. Correct. So in which case, like which one is a physical, which is a chemical change?
Freezing water is physical
Freezing
and
water
baking
is
is
physical.
chemical.
Freezing water is physical and baking cake is chemical.
Absolutely. Correct. Oh, Aditya is joined in. All right. So ice to water is a physical change because it is, as Puneet said, reversible. Water can freeze to ice and ice will melt back into water. But once you bake a cake, you won't be able to get the raw materials back. Like it's done. What's done is done. Okay. So what exactly happens in chemical changes is that one, bonds break, two bonds break, and then the new bonds form. So basically new substances form. So once this happens, you can say that chemical reaction has taken place. So the properties of the new substance are different from the original substance. So you can see in the GIF that is happening here, pehle, this particular species was with the yellow atom, but reaction ke baad it's going to the green atom. So chemical bonds jo hai, between the blue and yellow, they have broken. And then the new bond has formed between green and the blue atom. Okay, that is the reason we say chemical reaction has happened. Melting of ice may, like when ice is melting, is there a new, like, can we say water is the new substance? Isliye that's a chemical reaction?
No, miss, there's a change
This is
of
just
physical
change of
state
state.
only.
Correct. So chemically, if you see, there's no like breaking of bonds. Like jo H2O ke beech mein bond hai, after it becomes water, also the same bonds are still there. Like hydrogen is attached to oxygen only. Nothing else has changed. Okay. So that is the difference between a chemical and a physical change. So reaction may, the main thing is bonds breaking marks chemical reaction and new substance forming marks a chemical reaction. So chemically the property should be different. So this is the definition. Chemical reaction is a change in which one or more substances or reactants react to form substances with entirely different properties. What do you call these new substances that are formed after the reaction?
Products.
Product.
Very good. Correct. Okay. An example is firecrackers mein jo hota hai, like you see all the light and the flames and all, that is basically your chemical reaction. So you can see this in magnesium burning also. Have you guys, ninth you guys did in this thing, right? You did it
Magnesium burns
online.
in the air.
Have you guys ever had like at least 8th grade tak practicals mein where you could watch this thing?
Yes. Yes, miss.
No,
No,
ma'am.
no,
Not,
ma'am. No,
magnesium.
ma'am.
Some of you have watched it, some of you have
Not visited chemistry lab only.
Arre, you would have had a chance to, like, ye pandemic aake, it just spoiled. Otherwise you guys would have, you know, even if you were not allowed to do it because fire hazard and everything, at least you would have watched it live when a teacher is doing it. But yeah,
No,
you take
no,
so you take a magnesium ribbon and you just like clean it a little bit and then you just put it near the flame. It's basically what happens in firecrackers also. Diwali pe you would have burned firecrackers, right? So the gray thing that's put on the sticks, basically what forms your crackers, is things like magnesium. And if you have to get colors, then it's like different metals, like some use aluminium, potassium compounds, copper compounds. Yes, are it. Because when they burn,
Ma'am,
yeah.
miss, you said we had to, what we say, clean them off. So in our
Yes.
school, we were told that they are covered with one layer, but which is that layer?
Okay. अभी magnesium का atom like electronic configuration क्या है? Do you guys know? Remember this?
I guess
282.
282.
Correct. Magnesium has 12 electrons, so they are arranged as 282. Now, so outermost shell में कितने electrons है magnesium के?
2.
2.
तो इसका octet भरा हुआ है क्या?
No.
No.
No. So what does magnesium do? Like, will it be happy with just 2 electrons outermost shell में?
No, it will try
yes, it
to
would
attract
react
more
with oxygen.
oxygen.
Right. Netri dhruv, correct. So it'll try to react with other things to fulfill its octet, right? So in that process, like if you leave out magnesium ribbon just like that in the atmosphere, the outermost layer, whichever is exposed to the air around it, no, it's going to, those particular atoms are going to react with the oxygen atoms, water molecules, water vapor jo hai, like whatever is available in the air, it's going to react with those to form a layer of magnesium oxide. Okay, so that is what your teacher, that is the layer that your teacher was talking about.
Yeah, ma'am. Our sir had told that layer is removed by rubbing it with sandpaper.
Yes. So if you zoom in to a magnesium ribbon, agar aisa hai magnesium ribbon, like this is the whole ribbon, but yeah, this is like the width. So upper layer jo hai, the top layer of atoms will react with the oxygen and form magnesium oxide. Under jo hai, because they are not exposed to any other elements, they will remain as pure magnesium only. So when you rub it with a sandpaper or like a really rough cloth also, then all of these magnesium oxide molecules will get scraped away and you can expose a new layer of magnesium. So that is like ready for the reaction.
Okay. So that layer is magnesium oxide.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so that is the reason I think you guys have a question also, that you have to clean the magnesium ribbon before doing any reaction with it. In general, whenever you're using any metals for reactions like zinc and sulfuric acid or whichever, it's good habit to just give it that cleaning so that whatever impurities are there upar, they get wiped out. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so there's like lots of chemical reactions that happen all around you. You don't have to manually do it, but yeah. So how can we say that burning of magnesium is a chemical reaction? It's pretty obvious. So the reactant is magnesium. You're taking magnesium ribbon. Agar metal hai, to do you guys remember what are the properties of metals?
Lustrous,
Malleable, ductile,
Lustrous,
sonorous,
malleable,
solidly
ductile.
ductile,
and
sonorous.
Correct. So what are the visual things that tell you something is a metal?
Luster.
Luster,
and its
yes.
solid properties.
Solid,
Texture.
yes. Correct. So the same thing with magnesium. You can see that when you take a magnesium ribbon, it is hard to touch and it's like that metallic grayish color with luster, like thoda shine hai uska. It's a metal, like you can touch it and feel it, it's a metal. And then it cannot dissolve in water. Like you just put it in water and maybe some bubbles will come about, but it's not like salt which will dissolve in water. Now after burning, do you guys want me to play the video again so that you can see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna play it again. All right, so you can see this is magnesium. It's in ribbon state. It holds its shape pretty well, and it is shiny. It is hard. It's like basically a metal, like it's a thin, long ribbon of your metal.
Ductile.
Yeah. Yeah, ductility, malleability and ductility are also there right there. Now we're burning that ribbon. Okay. He's attached that ribbon to this stand over here and he's burning the other end. So now let's see what we get at the end of, after this burns up. So do you see there was an arrow also here? What color is this thing, the ash that is there here?
White.
White.
Yeah, it's white in color. And do you think it is hard like a metal? Let's see what happens
No,
when
it
you
is in
touch
powder
it.
form.
Huh.
Yeah,
It broke pretty easily, yeah. See, it broke and it's basically like a powder, right? Okay. So if you take that powder, mix it in water, it's going to dissolve in water. So it's basically a salt. It's kind of a salt. Yeah. So it's a white powder. It's a basic compound. It's not a metal, and this can dissolve in water. So you can see that all the basic properties of the reactant and product itself are very different from each other, which is why you can say that it's a chemical reaction. So whenever you come across a question, right, like how can you say that, like you'll be given a statement, when zinc is dropped in dilute sulfuric acid, so and so observation happens. Is it a physical or a chemical change? Justify. So suppose you get a question like that. So how will you answer that question? Like, how do you justify if something is a chemical reaction?
We'll state its
This
properties
evolution of
before.
gas.
One moment. So Netri, you continue first. Yeah.
We'll state its properties before doing the reaction, and we'll state its properties after the reaction. If the properties have major differences, it means it's a chemical change.
Very good. Nice. Yes. Puneet, you were saying?
Yes, I will say like if there's a change of color, evolution of a gas, something like that.
Good.
Precipitate formation.
Correct. So both of your factors put together you can say that it's a chemical reaction. So the point is you need to point out very specific like observations whenever you're given questions like these. So right now, like you can't be vague, and this applies to any science question. Okay. So you need to be very specific, and you don't have to write like essays or paragraph. You can just write bullet points, but as long as they say something, don't write empty words basically. Okay. So as Netri said, difference in properties, if you're comparing properties, be very specific, like it's written here. There's a difference in the color, there's a difference in acidity, basicity thing, there's a difference in reactivity. Like be very specific, take one property and put it out there. So this is how you can identify chemical reactions. So one is there could be change in state, there could be a change in color, there might be an evolution of gas, there might be a change in temperature, and there might be formation of precipitate. Now these factors, it's not necessary that all of them should happen. Minimum any one of them happens, then you can say that it's a chemical reaction. Okay. And at the same time, these are not like hard and fast rules. Okay. So for example, if I drop blue ink, like ink pen ka blue ink, in a glass of water, तभी तो there's a change in color, right? So जो water transparent था, I dropped blue ink, तो glass पूरा blue हो गया. Can I call that a chemical reaction?
No,
No, miss, you can evaporate the water.
that is just diffusion.
Yeah. So it's important to keep in mind that these are not like you shouldn't look at these points in isolation. They're just indicators. Like, because we don't know molecular level में क्या हो रहा है, we take the help of these things and figure out कि अच्छा इसलिए हुआ है. Okay. So examples of chemical reactions where there's a change in state. Real life example, cooking egg. How many of you have cooked egg? Especially अभी घर पे ही हो पूरा साल के लिए, must have seen egg cooking. No? Nice. Puneet has seen it. Good. Okay. Abhi, I'm getting some responses. Rest of you have not gone in the kitchen, huh? So what do you observe is happening, Nikki?
While cooking eggs.
Yeah.
So if we boil, or even if I'll talk about boiling. So
Any
there
form
is
of cooking.
Even in any form of cooking egg, the state of egg albumin, the white sticky substance, is kind of liquid at first, but after cooking it turns to solid.
Yeah. So like transparent liquidy part jo hai, when you heat it, it becomes like solid white. Yeah. And some of the rest of you, I think, right, if you don't eat egg, yeah, you won't get to see this. But of course, there are other things in the kitchen that you can observe. Just there's a change of state and you can figure out the chemical reaction.
Even the yolk, it is semi-solid at first, but then
Yeah.
it is solid.
Correct. It's very weird, like really viscous liquid. It's definitely not solid, and that becomes like really solid on cooking. Zinc granules in dilute sulfuric acid. Now this is a pure chemistry, like laboratory mein hota hai kind of example. So how do you figure out like what change in state has happened and how do you see it?
I'm not
Ma'am,
sure, but I
hydrogen gas
think
is released, so we can bring a burning matchstick there. Colorless
Yeah,
and
correct.
odorless.
That's good. Another way of seeing if some gas is released is
we can bring a burning matchstick near it, and if it extinguishes like with a pop sound, then it means
that
there
is, yeah, that is specific to hydrogen. But
if
otherwise,
it is full of bad odor like the egg one that is sulfide.
yeah, so
And
those
it's
are all like
sulfide.
very specific test for certain compounds. But in general, if you want to say evolution of gas hua hai reaction mein, how do you identify it? Like, let's say I've taken a test tube.
Ma'am, maybe if the mass changes a bit and it is reduced, then maybe a gas is liberated, because we know that according to the law, both the masses should be same.
Very good. That's a very nice, interesting observation, Nikki. Yeah, gas evolve hua. So overall law of conservation of mass. But if the mass is reduced, it means that something has escaped, and only gases have the capability of, escaping. That's a very good observation. But while the reaction is happening, like I want you guys to use your imagination now with a little bit of logic. How many of you swim?
I.
Okay. Netri, Anirban, Aditya, Neki, Puneet, Mansi. Oh, quite a few of you. Like at the very least, you would have stepped inside a swimming pool, right? So if you have tried breathing underwater, breathing matlab kya? You inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide along with a lot of gases. So if you're releasing gases underwater, what happens?
Bubbles.
bubbles are
Bubbles are
formed.
formed.
Bubbles. Good, good.
Bubbles are formed.
So abhi is test tube mein, if I put zinc over here, where will the reaction take place? Throughout or only near this particular part, or kahan pe? Where do you think the reaction will take?
Bubbles will rise from bottom to top.
So the reaction is going to take place wherever both the reactants are there. जहाँ पे zinc भी है और sulfuric acid भी है. Which means that अगर यहाँ पे reaction हो रहा है मतलब gas will be formed here, and if it has to escape out, it needs to rise from inside ऐसे, right? So whenever you have gas inside liquid that is escaping, you will find bubbles.
In all the soft drinks and all also.
Yeah. So लेकिन soft drink पे chemical reaction नहीं हो रहा है. That's just dissolved carbon dioxide escape हो रहा है.
Fizzing.
Yeah, that's fizziness. So bubbles, fizziness, these are good identifiers, but absolutely don't use this in the exam. Bubbles you can use to some extent. The formal word for it जो exam में लिखना पड़ेगा, it's called effervescence. Okay, effervescence. This is a scientific term for bubbles, for fizziness basically. Okay, so if there's like evolution, so how to use this word in a sentence is basically, if you observe effervescence, it means that there is a gas evolved in the reaction. So it's basically a phenomenon where, like, if you observe, like, just replace fizziness with effervescence. It's a process, it's a phenomenon. Okay. All right. Then another indicator other than change in state evolution of gas is you have change in color. Real world में the way you can observe change in color is rusting. And if you have to do a chemical reaction, then put an iron nail in CuSO4 solution. So all these reactions, I will be showing it to you guys during this chapter. So today's class and tomorrow or day after, next class jab bhi hai. So you guys will get to see all of these change in color and everything. Change in temperature. Whenever you burn things, things get hotter. So that's combustion. Temperature increases. This is another reaction you can do to prove that there's change in temperature. Formation of precipitate. Now, what do you mean by the word precipitate? This is a new word that's come up now.
Insoluble particle, it settles down at the bottom.
Very
Insoluble
good.
solid.
Correct. So whenever you have a thing like a salt, a substance that does not dissolve in water, agar pani mein you see that solid particles have settled down, so that particular particles that are settling down are this is called precipitate. Okay. So during a reaction, if you take like two liquids and suddenly you see a solid settling down, it means that reaction has taken place and jo bhi form hua, that is not soluble. It's insoluble in water, isliye it's a precipitate. Now in this slide, I've given you guys two types of examples. Questions can be asked both ways. So one, you might be asked to identify an observation from real life, jahan pe there's a change in state, change in color, change in temperature. Or you must be asked a question proving, prove that in a chemical reaction, there might be change in temperature. So in that case, you have to describe an activity. So isliye I've given you guys set of reactions that you can do in the laboratory to prove these things. Okay. All right.
Just a second.
Oh, noting it down. Okay. So if there's any term that you guys have a doubt in, if you guys didn't get or anything like that, stop me and ask me. Okay.
Ma'am, in the formation of precipitate, the example that you have given, what is PB and KI? Like, what are the names of those chemicals?
PB, this is lead. So this salt is lead nitrate. PB is
Okay.
lead. Okay. and Ki is potassium iodide. K is potassium and I is iodine. Now because cation, anion, this will be iodide.
So, ma'am, which elements precipitate is formed in?
Lead iodide precipitates out
And-
this one.
Okay.
It's a dark yellow color water is also formed, right?
Dark yellow, matlab, lead salts are usually either yellow or red. The lead iodide in this case is yellow in color, so you see that there's a yellow precipitate that comes up.
Okay.
So if you disturb that basically, imagine if you have dirty water, there's a change in water color, right? So that way the whole solution becomes slightly yellow. But if you leave it, you can see that yellow lead iodide is precipitating it. So we'll look at this reaction also. And is chapter specifically के लिए I've formed a YouTube on playlist. जब भी खत्म करेंगे ना, I'll share that playlist with you guys.
Done, man.
Okay. Now equations. So a chemical equation is the representation of chemical reaction. So reaction is something that happens in real life. Equation is how you put that on paper. Equation is how you represent a chemical reaction. So a complete equation represents the reactants, products, and their physical states symbolically. Here. So because it has to explain what is happening in the reaction, so equation में reactants होते हैं. So it like the representation is symbolically. You use the symbols and formulas. You don't write it in sentence. So for example, this is the reaction that is happening. Magnesium burns in oxygen to give magnesium oxide. So abhi hamare world mein there's like a ton of chemical reactions, right? So it's going to be a pain to write everything in sentence form. Like whole of chemistry would be like your history, geography, paragraph otherwise. So to make life easier, you use the symbols and formulae and write it in the form of an equation. So magnesium burns in oxygen. So how does magnesium exist elementally?
Gas.
Gaseous. Magnesium क्या है?
Solid.
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 Solid, it is what type of element, like metal, non-metal? क्या है वो?
Metal.
Metal. So metals हमेशा you will represent it in monoatomic form. इसलिए magnesium के लिए you just write Mg. Oxygen elemental form क्या है?
Gas.
Gas.
So what makes up oxygen gas? Like, do you find independent atoms or do they? Molecule, correct. So that is the reason whenever you come across elemental oxygen, you write O2 always to give magnesium oxide. So magnesium oxide together is a product. So isliye you've written the formula for magnesium oxide, MgO. So these are the situations. So Mg, whenever it's in compound, it's 2+. Oxide, whenever oxide hai, so that's O2-. Crisscross method say you can figure out that it's MgO.
MgO is solid, no? Precipitate.
Yeah, solids. Precipitate only if it is in a solution. यहाँ पे बस burn हो रहा है ना हवा में. So that's why you don't call this a precipitate. It's just solid MgO. That's it. Okay. So this is like rough, basic skeletal chemical equation. So you call this a skeletal equation. So you call this skeletal because it's very basic. Human body में skeleton only defines your shapes. कि ऊपर there's a head and then you have like a torso and then you have 2 hands and 2 legs. It doesn't describe whether, what is the skin color, what is the thing, like it's just a basic structure for it. So this type of equation is also like just the basic equation. skeletal equation. It just gives you information कि reactants क्या है और क्या form हो रहा है. Now beyond this, sorry. So how to write a chemical equation is, this is important. Just pay attention here. So all the elements and compounds are written in their symbols, symbol formulae. That is important. Never write names of the compounds. Substances going into the reaction are reactants. They're written on the left side of the equation. Products are written on the right side of the equation. Why? Because it makes logical sense, right? So when you read from left to right, it's logical. अच्छा पहले ये था, बाद में product हो गया. So if there are multiple reactants or products, they're separated by a plus. Why? That's also logical. Plus means you're adding. So if you're adding oxygen to magnesium, कुछ और form हो रहा है that way. Reactants and products are separated by arrow mark pointing from reactant to product. Arrow mark, again, it makes logical sense क्योंकि this is turning into that. Gives you a direction. Next, making a chemical equation more informative. You can give more information than just the reactants products. One, you can mention the physical states. Isse in future, if you've done a reaction and your junior wants to do the same reaction, then they will know, like they will know whether to, if you take HCl, they'll know whether to take, or if you take NaCl, they'll know whether to take solution of NaCl, like mix it in water, or should I take a dry powder, like solid form mein. So physical states are important. Yeah, Dhruv?
Miss, is it necessary to write the physical states in the exam?
Yes, it is advised to write it, but if you're confused or don't remember now, better to not write it. If you're confident, absolutely go for it.
Miss, or they will directly ask us, right? So,
They will not specify, they will not ask. Questions may, you'll get questions like what is combustion or combination reaction, explain with example. तो example में reaction लिखना पड़ता है, equation लिखना पड़ता है. So whenever you write an equation, you write the states also. So the reason is, if you get the states wrong, no, there is a possibility that you lose all the marks for that equation. But if you miss out on writing the states, then maybe you'll lose out on like half a mark. So if you're confident about states, write them. But if you don't know, if you're not confident, like better to not write them.
Miss,
Yeah.
mostly the compounds, other than solid ones, precipitate ones, they are aqueous only, na? Like CuSO4, FeSO4. So
Yeah, it depends on the equation. So that also I'll give you guys tips when we do the different types of equations. Okay. Okay. So solid, liquid, gas, it's pretty simple. SLG. Aqueous is AQ. Aqueous means it is dissolved in water. Okay. So solution. So if you're taking salt solution, then you write NaCl, aqueous. Okay. So solution mein agar if you're doing it, then that's aqueous. Arrow mark up, like arrow mark down. So these two you will use mainly for products. So agar gas liberate hua, it means that the gas is escaping. That's what this upward arrow represents. And precipitate, agar solid form hua, then in like solution pura, pani pura idhar hai, and precipitate is settling at the bottom. Like from the solution, it's going down, isliye it is represented with downward arrow. So you don't use them with reactants because then it'll just look stupid, right? So if you're forming water, if you write H2 plus O2, upward arrow represents that H2 and O2 have escaped. So pani kaise form hoga? So whenever it's in reactants, use solid, liquid, gas like these symbols. products में अगर gas liberated है तो either you can use G or you can use the upward arrow, and similarly precipitate है, either you can use S or you can use the downward arrow. So usually arrows, because they show that oh gas is escaping up or solid has gone down, you usually use them with products. You see them that they're there with products. And to figure out what is the state of the substance, this is what Puneet you were talking about, right? How do you know what to use? Usually aqueous hota hai, yeah. First, check if there's any elemental things. Agar elemental hai, so this you will have a prior knowledge of it. You'll have an idea of it. So what I mean is, if there's metals in the elemental state, usually metals का physical state क्या होगा?
Solid.
Solid.
Right? So physical state, whenever you come across a metal, it's in the elemental state, use solid. Non-metal hai agar, then what will you do?
Gas or can be.
So give me examples of non-metals.
Oxygen,
you know of.
carbon.
Oxygen, that's very good examples, Puneet. So oxygen is what state?
Yes.
Gas.
Yes, true. So it's gaseous state. Carbon, usually which state do you find it in?
Coal, so solid.
Solid. So agar
Solid.
yes. So agar non-metal hai, so you will need to use your logic and prior knowledge to figure out what state it's in. हमेशा usually either solid होता है या फिर gas होता है. So chlorine is a gas, oxygen is a gas, nitrogen is a gas. और क्या है? Hydrogen is a gas. These are all gases. Now carbon, sulfur, solid. Iodine is a solid. Phosphorus is a solid. You have red phosphorus, white phosphorus. Okay. Do you know exceptions to these? Which is the liquid metal?
Mercury.
Mercury. Yeah.
Gallium.
Gallium. Again, that depends on the temperature. Like 30 degrees se upar hai, so it's liquid. Liquid non-metal.
Bromine.
Very good, through.
Bromine.
So bromine, yeah, bromine is a non-metal. So bromine is Br2. So this is liquid in the elemental state. Mercury, Hg is a liquid in the elemental state. So these are the exceptions. Beyond that, the rest of it you can just see and figure it out. If you want a cheat sheet, if you don't know all the elements because you're just starting out, I can give you a list of what are the natural states of these. That said, these are not again absolute values. Agar room temperature pe kar rahe ho, to then it makes sense. But if you're working with liquid nitrogen, like cold temperatures, या फिर if you're working with really high temperatures, like molten metal के साथ कुछ कर रहे हो, तो in that case, of course, then the state is going to change. So context is very, very important. Mostly room temperature पे कर रहे हो, तो फिर these standard states will apply. Then solid, liquid, gas हो गया. Aqueous. So whenever you take element नहीं compound, अगर salt के साथ कुछ कर रहे हो, how to recognize salt is when it's metal के साथ non-metal है. So if it is metal plus non-metal, that forms a salt. Whenever you're doing reactions with salt, as Puneet said, like if you're doing reaction with FeSO4, or if you're doing it with CuSO4, या फिर with zinc chloride. So all of these reactions, they will happen in aqueous. So your displacement, double displacement, all of them will take place in aqueous state. And even like just use logic, like if you mix two powders, reaction is not going to take place. But if you mix them in solution, then the reaction is bound to take place. Yeah. So usually salts ke saath, like soluble salts ke saath, they usually done in aqueous state. Acid based reactions are all done in aqueous state क्योंकि dilute करना पड़ता है उसको. Yeah, that way. And gas liberated and all, again, if you see that carbon dioxide is evolved, so that is going to be a gas because you know that carbon dioxide is a gas. If you're getting water out of a reaction, water का state क्या है room temperature में? Reena?
Liquid.
Liquid, yes. So if you see that products में H2O है, so you can straight away just put liquid state there. Okay. That way. So as we do the reactions, practice ke saath, you guys will start getting familiar with this. Then you can mention energy changes by using plus heat or minus heat. So use logic. Plus heat, what does it stand for, Mansi? Mansi, are you there? Oh no, you've been muted. Okay, yeah, now you're unmuted. Yeah. Not able to hear you, Mansi. Okay, send your answer on chat. Like, what does plus heat say? Puneet has answered yes. Netri, yes, correct. Dhruv, absolutely right. Correct. Not sure? Okay. Nikki, yeah, tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
So agar if I write a reaction and then end mein if I add plus heat, what does it say? What information does it give?
I didn't get.
So let's say I wrote some reaction. A plus B gives some C plus D. And if I write plus heat here, what do you understand from it?
So heat is liberated or heat is formed?
Very good. Correct. So A plus B gives C plus D. Like plus heat matlab product ke saath heat bhi form hua hai. So that represents that heat is liberated, heat is formed. Okay. So that's a type of reaction. Agar minus heat hua hai, matlab heat is absorbed. So heat has been removed from whatever surroundings and all. That is the thing. Next, mention conditions of the reaction by indicating reagents, catalyst, temperatures, or pressures on the arrow. So there are a few words here. Temperature, pressure, to you guys know what temperature is, what pressure is. What do you mean by reagent and what do you mean by catalyst? Yeah, Dhruv.
Miss, I know catalysts, they are substances which, if we add to the reactants, they speed up the reaction without being consumed.
Correct. Yes. So catalysts are basically substances that help the reaction proceed forward. Correct. So reagents are also similar to catalyst, except they are used during the reaction, and then end of the reaction sometimes they may be formed back. Like for example, some reaction take place only in the presence of acid. You guys have studied life processes, right? So can you give me an
Yes, ma'am.
example of a
Yeah.
reaction that
The
happens
pepsin,
only?
that acid which needs like acidic surrounding around it in the stomach in order to
Yeah.
digest.
Correct. So digestion ka ek part happens only in presence of acid. So acid in that case, HCl forms a reagent for that reaction. Okay. So reagents and catalysts are pretty similar to each other in that like they're basically requirements for the reaction to take place or requirements for reaction to speed up, take place efficiently. So these kind of things you put it on the arrow, above the arrow, below the arrow. And then finally balance in the equation to present the correct quantities of the substances in accordance with law of conservation of mass. So including all of these will make a chemical equation more informative. It'll make it make more sense. So go back to our original equation. Magnesium burns in oxygen, gives magnesium oxide. Physical state, magnesium is in solid. Oxygen, we saw that it's a gas. Magnesium oxide product is formed as a solid. And we see that there's a flame, right? So that's basically heat being liberated. Puneet, I didn't get you. What's NaNe?
Miss, sodium neon. I had heard this of somewhere. I did not get it properly, but any was there.
Oh, can you send a picture of that? Because neon is basically inert. So it, even if, under heavy conditions, extreme condition, it forms a compound with sodium, it would basically be a salt unless
Yeah,
there's
because in our
different
school,
technique.
one person had asked, and sir told something. I did not recollect it. I think he told that these two cannot be combined together.
Yeah, absolutely can't, because neon is very, very inert. Even among the inert gases, xenon is pretty much the only one that forms compounds. Neon is unheard of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you send me the context, it'll be of more help. Yeah. More examples. Okay, this is for you guys to do. Zinc granules react with dilute sulfuric acid to give zinc sulfate and releases hydrogen gas. Is it possible for you guys to write on screen, like if you're using laptop or tablet or whatever?
Annotate.
Yes, ma'am.
Annotations,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. How many of you are able to write?
Yes, I can write.
Ma'am,
Just
I
need
can
my stylus. Yes, just a second.
Even I can write.
Because I will ask specifically to you guys, and the others can just like write it on paper and send it on WhatsApp or something. Okay. Abhi to don't like clear all drawings. All right. Anirban, you said you are able to write, no? So can you write this reaction, the equation?
Wait. Actually, I don't have pad. That's
Oh, all right, Puneet, you go ahead. Abhi ke liye. The rest of you can like collect your stylus, whatever helps you to write.
Miss, which one?
This one, whatever is on the screen right now.
Okay.
And the rest of you write it in your book, and then you can check if Puneet is right or not, and you can compare. Write it with the physical states, Puneet, or else give
Okay.
space so that you can add it.
Then now.
Done? Okay. Divya, can you tell me if what Puneet has written is correct or not?
Yes, ma'am, it is correct.
Okay. Uh, all right. So, Puneet, can you explain how you figured out the states from the statement given?
Miss, zinc is a metal, so it will be in solid.
Okay.
H2SO4 is a sulfuric acid, so acid you told salt, and it will be aqueous. Zinc
Yes.
sulfate, again acid, so aqueous, and hydrogen gas, so gases.
Mm, correct. Very good. So, some of them, yeah, you used your own logic. Sometimes, if you're not sure, you'll get the hints in the statement also. So, zinc granules. Granules matlab small stone-like things. So that's another way you can figure out that zinc is a solid. It's a metal, exists as solid state. And sulfuric acid, dilute. Dilute means it is mixed in water, and it's made weaker. So because it's mixed in water, that's another hint for you to figure out that it's aqueous. In general, yes, all acids are, whether you take concentrated or dilute, you always take them in solution form. So it's going to be aqueous. Zinc sulfate is not an acid, it is a salt. Metal, zinc, and sulfate is non-metal. And also, when you do the reaction, you're taking sulfuric acid and liquid form, like solution, matlab it is water plus H2SO4, H2O plus H2SO4, और नीचे zinc granules है. So when this compound is formed, it is going to be dissolved in the solution. It's basically like table salt, except instead of NaNCl, you've got zinc and sulfate ions. So that's why that is aqueous, correct? And says releases hydrogen gas. Here it's given straightforward H2 gas. Okay. Another way to put it is like this. Okay. Correct.
Okay.
Anybody who has a doubt in figuring out how to write equations from the statement given like this? Any part of it, either symbol formula or how to figure out the state, any part of it.
Besides, I'm a little confused in the state one. How to
State.
identify?
Okay. So in this example, I've mentioned like granules. So many different clues. One clue is figure out, like if you're familiar with the substance, figure out if it's like a metal or a non-metal and things like that. So Dhruv, we are familiar with some of the elements and compounds, right? Like what
Yeah, miss,
carbon.
not like in the product form.
Okay. So whenever one of these is in aqueous state, no, automatically you have to like imagine the reaction is happening in a test tube, or test tube mein kuch to solution hai. So whenever you have a salt, and if it is not given, like if suppose this said zinc sulfate precipitate, अगर precipitate नाम आया या फिर insoluble बोला, मतलब it is not dissolved, so that's going to be an automatic solid. If that is not the case, then if any of your reactants is in aqueous state, product में अगर salt है तो फिर वो भी aqueous होगा. How to recognize salt is basically it is formed from metal plus non-metal. Okay, यहाँ पे zinc is the metal, sulfate is a non, like sulfur and oxygen both are non-metals. So cation anion का combination मतलब it's a salt. अगर salt आया product में तो only two possibilities, या फिर solid हो सकता है या फिर aqueous हो सकता है. 90% of the cases will be aqueous. सॉलिड कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करना है इज इफ इट इज इनसॉल्युबल, मतलब डिसॉल्व नहीं हुआ तो aqueous नहीं बना, or if the question says something called precipitate. Both of them mean the same thing, but yeah, those are like the clues to figure out if it is solid or aqueous. So we'll do a few more reactions. Like Dhruv, you do the next one. थोड़ा practice हो जाएगा. Silver bromide on exposure to sunlight decomposes into silver metal and bromine gas. Dhruv, you do this one.
Yeah, miss. Miss, just a minute. Just Miss, silver bromide is AgBr, right?
Correct, yes. Silver is plus
Miss,
one.
on exposure to sunlight, there's in reactants there'll be only AgBr.
Yeah. So
And
sunlight is a condition. So reaction conditions कहाँ पे डालोगे?
Miss, on the arrow sign
Yeah,
above it, sunlight.
correct.
Miss, actually, I won't be able to. I don't have a pad
अच्छा,
to write.
तो फिर you dictate and I'll write it. So you said
Yeah.
AgBr and arrow पे sunlight you said. Okay, then
I guess it would give Ag and Br.
silver metal Ag. Bromine का natural state क्या है? Elemental state?
A gas.
Yes, and is it just Br or Br2, Br3?
Br2.
Yeah. So bromine, chlorine, iodine, all of these belong to the same family. They have the same similar chemical properties. All of them exist as Br2. Okay. Now figure out the physical states.
AgBr is solid.
Yes.
Ag is solid and bromine is gas.
Very good. Gas is given right here. So it is gas. Awesome. Okay. So you got it. No doubts. So only
Yes,
if
miss,
it
I
is,
understand.
yeah, agar salt hai, like if it's like a decomposition, displacement, double displacement, उस तरह का reaction है, acid base reaction, तो फिर aqueous होगा. यहाँ पे it's just a simple sunlight से you're getting solid silver and gaseous bromine. So यहाँ पे पानी का there's no role here, so AgBr is going to be solid. That's how we figure it out. Okay. This is actually a photography wala reaction. So olden days, before there were digital cameras, whenever, how many of you know how photos used to be taken? Like negative hota hai, reels.
Yeah, they were like dipped in that water and they were just like kept above water and then
Yeah,
something.
except that's not water, Netri. That's actually a solution that contains silver
Yeah, it
bromide
is some
and the
kind of,
filters
yeah.
and all of that. Yeah. So the old type of photography is done with silver bromide. Yeah.
The negative image in the tape.
Correct. Yes, negative image. Okay. So another way you can write gas G, or you can put it with upward arrow क्योंकि product है और escape हो रहा है. Okay. It's almost 5. So we just have balancing and the different types of formula. तब तक obviously balancing के लिए you guys need to be familiar with writing equations. So what we'll do is I'll give you guys homework workbook में से. You obviously there's a lot of exercises where you're given equations in statement form and you have to write it in as equations. Okay, so practice that. Next class we'll do balancing and we'll discuss all the different types of equations. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Ma'am, do we have to write anything from the chapter notes as notes?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Do you have to write what?
Do we have to write anything as notes from the chapter notes?
Not right now. Once the chapter gets over, then you can like revise all the